This week, something massive happened. OpenAI, the company that made ChatGPT, announced something so sophisticated that even Mr.Beast is scared. The president of this country followed me on TikTok, but I did something that I think has made him angry. A mysterious ship of unknown origins ran aground and triggered a national state of emergency, and some of the wildest body camera footage I guarantee you've probably ever seen got released this week. All of that and so much more, so let's get cracking. Okay, let's start this video with some life-altering news, because I guarantee you it will change the way that you watch videos very soon. This week, OpenAI shocked the world by giving us the first look at their new AI video generator called Sora. For perspective, just 1 year ago, this is what AI was capable of generating. But today, this hyper-realistic video was created by only typing 32 words. Comparison. Right here. To 1 year. What? I mean, do you guys remember that one episode of Black Mirror where that woman's everyday life was made into a reality TV show? Yeah? Well, if all you need is a goddamn text prompt, well, just like they predicted, in 10 years or so, this could get so good that every embarrassing detail of a person's life could technically be produced within hours of it occurring. Better goddamn check your contracts.
Terms and condition. All of that would have popped up on your phone and you clicked accept.
And you know when people say you can't dream of a person's face unless you've seen them before? Well, what about this? Because this AI has to be using some reference for all of the faces that it's creating. Does that mean every person we're seeing is a mashup of hundreds of people? And if so, who are they? Where did they get it from? It could be you, it could be me. And not to mention, if they're using people's faces, what does that all mean for copyright law? I mean, just think about it. Look at how sophisticated this is. One day, genuinely, this could take entire film production studios and boil all of that down to one person sat there at their computer. But that is exactly where things get really interesting because, and I really want to emphasize this, technology is a tool that democratizes access. Let me explain. I'll use social media as an example. In 2024, you no longer have to meet the requirements and the criteria of Hollywood and survive their onerous contracts to be a successful entertainer. I mean, just look at the Sidemen and Mr.Beast. They are arguably more famous than most actors nowadays, and they actually own everything they created, unlike the actors. And the same way that social media did that for entertainment, Sora takes this to a whole new level. Because soon, you might not even have to be in front of camera to generate and make videos that millions of people watch. I mean, I know for a fact that there are social media geniuses out there that have the best ideas in the world for videos, but they're just not the ones that want to be or are good at being in front of camera. And if some of the barriers to entry of making videos on TikTok, on YouTube, are things like, you know, being charismatic, being well-spoken, being good-looking, I don't know, whatever they are. Well, Sora could clean that all away and democratize that too. But not everyone sees this as a good thing. We even saw Mr.Beast, the man himself, tweeting at Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the creator of Sora, saying, "Sam, please don't make me homeless." Now, I get that he's probably joking, but deep down, I don't think you guys realize a lot of creators are genuinely worried right now of having to compete with AI. I mean, take me, for example. When I started making news on TikTok, there was pretty much like maybe 1 or 2 other people that were really doing the news on TikTok. But now, not only is every other major news network started posting, but now I also have to think about the SpongeBob fish, the South Park news presenter, Peter Griffin. And I mean, these kind of things just are endless. And I mean, I personally have had my scripts literally taken word for word, bar for bar, and then run through an AI and then mass posted to like multiple accounts. I mean, I even made a video on this. Korea Air has now decided to join the party.
Korea Air has now decided to join the party.
A naked mole rat.
A naked mole rat.
Trigger fears of mutations leading up to the real Godzilla.
Trigger fears of mutations leading up to the real Godzilla.
But what the hell happens when instead of a fish, it's an exact perfect, even more perfect replica of me that doesn't mess up and swear and blaspheme and... But not just me. What about Mr.Beast or the Sidemen? What happens when it's a perfect replica of them? And I mean, right now, a lot of the time, we're even watching clips that someone else has just taken from YouTube and then posted it, so I don't even know. Would we even notice that much? Would we just be entertained and be like, oh, that's a good video, realizing it's not even real? I mean, there is even an entire freaking AI Travis Scott album on Apple Music. And I'm feeling a little bit guilty for admitting, but...
My son, there is no sin unforgivable to those that seek redemption.
I listened to it, and it's scary that I actually enjoy it too. And I fully know that's not him, but I'm still able to listen to it. But that's not even the only issue, because as we've all seen with the whole AI Taylor Swift situation, that even the government recognized and acknowledged, like, okay, everyone else can get deep-faked out there, but when it's Taylor Swift, the government comes in. Talk about goddamn special treatment. Anyway, but as we saw with that whole situation, this technology has the ability and the danger to make those problems in particular 1 billion times worse. Just imagine a video of that shit. But thankfully, at least for right now, the creators of this technology acknowledge the dangers, and so they've set limitations. As of right now, only a few select trusted individuals have access to this technology, and they'll be testing it out to see its dangers, how good it is, etc. And then, potentially, they might release it to the public. Let's wait for a while. I think I'll be okay with that. But I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about it. Is this technology a good or a bad thing for the entertainment of the average person? And while you're typing that in the comments, don't forget to subscribe, because how do I say this without sounding cringe as fuck? Moving on! This one's hilarious because this week I found out that a president of a country was following me on TikTok. So I thought that was pretty funny, it was pretty cool, so I decided to make a video on it, right? Not only in solidarity to the great people of Finland, which is the country that this is from. Also, fun fact, the happiest country in the world for 6 years in a row. But I made the video to also welcome Mr. Alexander Stubb to the News Daddy Empire as a fan. And all that I asked, right? This is it. You go watch the video for yourself. All I asked was to comment W Stubb, right? That's it. But so many people went over to his account. He gained over 30,000 followers. His most recent post went from around 170K to 1.2 million. And because of the literal flood, he's now had to turn off all of his comments, remove the ability for people to tag him, and he's made his following list private. I'm sorry, okay? Look, I said keep it in my comments. I didn't say to go and bombard the man. At least in my defense, they were all positive, but they were so positive that a lot of them bordered on inappropriate. Oh, man. I make some connections with powerful people and we fuck it up like that. Silver lining, he didn't unfollow me. So I guess I just want to say, I'm sorry, Mr. Stubb. We didn't want it to go this way. So I don't know, maybe one day you'll see me in Finland making friends again. Moving on. Now, okay, this one. Now, strap your goddamn selves in, because I don't think you guys understand how many good movies and TV series are coming out in 2024. So I'm gonna do you guys a favor and rattle off just some of the best bangers coming. Starting with the ones we have dates for. Madam Web. Don't worry about that one. Cut it out. A TED series just dropped, and within the first 3 days of its release, it became the most watched original on Peacock. Rick finally returns to The Walking Dead in a whole new series called The Ones Who Live. In March, we have A Quiet Place Day 1, which shows how the alien invasion kicked off in cities. Got Kung Fu Panda 4, we got Godzilla, The New Empire. And also in March, I like this one, we have the second part of Invincible Season 2. Now, the movie I am most excited for is Civil War. And boy, this one, if you watch the trailer, it's a little bit close to the bone for America right now.
Okay. What kind of American are you?
Also releasing the same day is Challengers, but I only mention this one because for the freaks over at Twitter, this scene is probably the most hyped thing to happen this year. The Kingdom of the Apes is coming out, where apes are now more evolved than humans and hunt them. We got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, and just like he said in the trailer, he might really be Marvel Jesus, because this one movie could save the entire MCU. Moana 2 is coming out in November, and for the ones that we don't have a specific date for, but are still coming, we have The Boys Season 4, Squid Game Season 2, Umbrella Academy, the last one, Wednesday Season 2, You Season 5, and Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I told you, bangers. So my question is, did I miss any? And which one are you most hyped to see? Moving on. Okay, this next one you guys need to watch because this is some of the strangest body cam footage I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. Now, the incident you're watching happened in November last year, but the footage was released this week, in which Deputy Jesse Hernandez had already arrested, searched, handcuffed, and placed this man in the back of his cruiser after he stole his girlfriend's car. And keep it in your mind that they've already searched him, so he doesn't have any weapons on him. Hernandez was then heading back to the cruiser to read the man his rights when something strange happened.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
And as you can hear, despite no apparent shots being fired and the door remaining closed, Hernandez began yelling shots fired multiple times and falling to the ground, and he just started rolling. He exclaimed that he had been hit, and he followed that up by opening fire several times into the back of the patrol car. Now, after witnessing Hernandez's response and reaction, his partner officer responded with gunshots towards the vehicle as well. Now, I don't think I can show the part where they shoot, but just imagine like 15, an entire clip being just emptied onto this car. Now, after calling for cover behind a car, he then responds to his partner officer asking if he's okay by saying, "I'm good. I feel weird, but I'm good." And then this is the craziest part. The report came out of the incident, and it said, using hindsight, the sound heard, which was interpreted as the gunshot, was likely an acorn striking the top of his patrol vehicle. Now, when I posted this on TikTok, a couple of people started commenting that he may have had PTSD and the sound of the acorn might have triggered that. But just to show you how freaking powerful your brain is, he also said in the report that he genuinely thought that he got hit and even his legs went numb, which is why I guess he was crawling. Luckily, the man in the back of the patrol car was uninjured, and I don't even know how because they literally emptied. I mean, again, I can't show you, but so the fact that he wasn't injured is a miracle, or just really bad aim. As you'd imagine, an investigation was opened into Hernandez, and he resigned before it even ended, so I guess he kind of knew that that was ridiculous. Luckily, this situation that could have ended very, very badly didn't, so wild situation. Moving on. A national state of emergency was declared this week after a mysterious ship of unknown origins ran aground and started leaking massive amounts of oil. No one tell America. Now, emergency workers in Trinidad and Tobago spent the last week trying to clear all of the oil spill up. And I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but I had to mention it because I saw this video and it was of a guy, as you can see, and he's trying to clear up the oil using a black plastic bag. I mean, you've got thousands of kgs of oil coating beaches, and your cleanup procedure involves a black plastic bag. It's gonna be a while. Anyway, if you thought that was strange, what's stranger is that still, over a week later, no one actually knows where this ship has come from, who it belongs to, or how it even capsized. People have just been referring to it as the ghost ship. No emergency calls before government said that it was calls before when it was first sighted, the government said that it was sailing under an unidentified flag. That was fucking rough. And it made no emergency calls before overturning, which suggests that there was no one even on board. Fast forward to today, we still don't know who it belongs to. But what's worse is that this oil has turned Tobago's white sand and crystal clear water into black sludge and has damaged multiple reefs. In fact, it's been 9 days and the oil leak still hasn't been plugged. And this is while, by Thursday, authorities say that it has reached 144 kilometers into the Caribbean Sea, and it was moving at a rate of 14 kilometers per hour. That means by Sunday, it could have spread 1,000 kilometers into the sea, which, for perspective, is the entire length of the UK. So far, about 2,000 barrels of oil have been collected out of an estimated 35,000. And Trinidad is now considering declaring a Tier 3 emergency that would allow it to obtain foreign assistance to deal with the spill. And I mean, you've got to understand what a massive blow this is to the island's economy, because they heavily depend on tourist resorts and hotels during the carnival season, which is at its height right now. I mean, all of this destruction, just imagine being the person that caused all of it, watching this right now. And I mean, I don't want to speculate, but it probably is just one or two people that were driving that shit. They got it stuck on that reef and they thought, fuck this, let's go. What will be scary for them is that a lot of people are looking for them right now. And if they do find them, I'll let you know. But I think that's where we call this week's video. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and I will see you next Monday. Love ya. Bye.